What is codependency? Typically, codependency is a relationship between two people where one person has an ongoing need for something and is not able to emotionally support themselves. Maybe an addiction is involved. Maybe a mental illness is involved. Maybe a personality disorder. And then you've got another person that's kind of like the hero, kind of like the fixer, and they have a need to be needed. And the two of them, they are a perfect storm, and they find each other and they continue this dance that is called codependency. And often, one or both is really giving up their sovereignty, and it can create a lot of long-term problems. A lot of empaths, people who find themselves in narcissistic relationships, can relate to this. Okay, so back to this video. I was in my first ayahuasca ceremony in 2018. Ayahuasca is a psychedelic plant medicine that is, one of the uses is emotional healing, and I'll put a video about it in the link of the description, So in this ceremony, I saw a vision of myself. And I saw also a picture in the vision of a person that I was in a long-term codependent relationship with. And we transformed into two pumpkins in the vision. But I was clear on who was who. There was a big pumpkin that was the other person and the little pumpkin that was me. And you know how pumpkins have these kind of like vines that grow along the earth? We were connected by these vines. And this big pumpkin started to pull energy, pull life force from the little pumpkin that was me through these vines that connected us. And in the vision, the little pumpkin, over time, started to wither, started to get wrinkly, until it was just a rotten fruit. And the big pumpkin kept the life force. And it was quite an incredible vision. And then, if any of you guys know ayahuasca, it involves a lot of purging, usually, where we vomit or cry or run to the toilet, where we're releasing energy through our body. So after I saw that vision, I became very, very nauseous. And I had a bucket beside me. That's one thing that they give you because they know this is going to happen. And this vision caused me to feel so nauseous that I couldn't help but vomit. And I started vomiting and vomiting because I realized the energetic effect that this has had on my life force. Now, I always knew that this relationship wasn't exactly healthy, but in the ceremony where everything becomes very crystal clear on how things really went down on an energetic and spiritual level, I couldn't believe what I had willingly subjected myself to, what I had willingly participated in. And so there was some remorse, there was some sadness, but more than anything, there was this kind of repulsion over what had gone down. And we're not trying to beat ourselves up or play a blame game or anything like that. We're supposed to learn from what we've gone through. And so I was vomiting into my bucket. And the vision continued. And what I was vomiting, I could actually see in the spiritual realm, because the ayahuasca opens up our third eye. I could see bugs and worms and kind of like little insects that were like creepy crawly, kind of squirmy ones, coming out energetically, symbolically in the vomit. This was a really difficult part of the ceremony. And it sounds pretty horrific, but sometimes horrific lessons or powerful, uncomfortable lessons that come through for us cause us to really think twice before moving ahead with any kind of similar actions. I didn't change overnight. I found that I would notice tendencies continue in my adult life after that ceremony of codependence on my part. It never got as full blown as the relationship that was symbolized by those pumpkins, but that image and that vision I continue to hold, and I continue to keep my life in check over and over and notice where I have those tendencies, because there's nothing wrong with having tendencies. We all have them. And if you're an empath, if you're someone who's been in a relationship that's been codependent, maybe with a narcissist, you're always going to have a imprint. Even if the imprint gets put to sleep and healed and put to rest, we're always going to have like a tendency or an ability, even, it's not always negative, an ability to show up for somebody who is needy. So we always have to watch that. And yeah, so if you can relate to being in a codependent relationship, just know that when we are in it, we are siphoning off our life force. We are siphoning off our energy to somebody else. And not only are we losing that energy ourselves, which is not part of the divine plan, we're also enabling and propping up another person and taking away their chance of learning how to stand on their own 2 feet, taking away their chance of going on a healing journey, going within. And it's not our job to enable and prop up another person long term, even if we have the ability to do that. It's not good for either of us.